Hello colleagues, my name is Scott Ward, and in my presentation today I will address some of the obstacles that our culturally diverse learners face in our classrooms and some of the technology tools that we can use to engage our culturally diverse learners. We have four main learning objectives in today's presentation. By the end of this presentation, educators will be able to describe the characteristics of a culturally diverse classroom, relate best teaching practices in a culturally diverse classroom, identify some common obstacles in the use of technology with English language learners, and investigate 3 digital tools to enhance reading, writing, and/or grammar with English language learners. Today's classrooms are much different than the classrooms of just a decade ago. With added diversity to the classroom from children of different cultures, there becomes new learning opportunities for all students in a culturally diverse classroom. There are 2 new views in pedagogy that address our culturally diverse classrooms. One approach asks students to problem-solve cultural obstacles that they face to empower them in their learning. The other view asks teachers to recognize the cultural diversity in their classrooms and include this resource in their curriculum. The goal of both is to recognize and build upon the experiences of all learners in the classroom to bridge a widening gap in learning. Teachers must recognize the great funds of knowledge that their culturally diverse learners bring to the classroom. Research has found that when these funds of knowledge are recognized, students become more engaged in lessons. Let's take a look at some of the best teaching practices that are used in today's culturally diverse classrooms. Authors Lee and Edwards, 2010, report that academic English poses a difficult obstacle for English language learners. High school age students in particular are just starting to learn the English language and are far behind their peers. With high-stakes testing becoming more common in public education, ELL students are at a disadvantage when they're not provided the opportunity to show what they know because of the English language barrier inherent in standardized testing. Lee and Edwards in 2010 and Dong 2013 both suggest that if an ELL student has learned a topic in their primary language, they will be able to more easily transfer that knowledge into the English language. Another strategy that is helpful in tapping into an EL student's native language can be particularly helpful when learning new vocabulary in their secondary language that may relate to their primary language in terms of similar cognates or words that share similar spelling, sound, and meaning in English. A third strategy suggested by Dong in 2013 is to use concept mapping to connect ELL students' current knowledge to new knowledge. Research shows that ELL students come to the United States with unique experiences and prior knowledge that can be tapped into with appropriate and meaningful instruction. Teachers that use their ELL students' primary language in instruction will find that their ELL students' proficiency will increase in their second language. Lessons that connect vocabulary with their ELL students' prior experience or their prior knowledge will find that transfer to English will increase more rapidly. Teachers must keep the content rich and provide their ELL students with opportunities to collaborate with their peers and involve their families. In this video, Dr. Sherry Valentine shares with teachers some strategies for teaching in a culturally diverse classroom.
Welcome to the Teacher's Toolbox, a video resource created by Dr. Sherry Valentine for students pursuing careers in education. Today's lesson is on cultural diversity. Strategies for teaching culturally diverse students. Here are today's objectives. 1. Define cultural diversity. 2. Identify instructional strategies. 3. Identify teacher behaviors. And 4. Reflect on your practices. Cultural diversity refers to the variety of culture and differences that exist in our culture. It may include one's cultural identity, lifestyle, background, communication styles, morals, values, ethics, race, gender, status, and individuality. Does this sound like anyone you know?
Hey, all students are the same. I teach my way, and if they get it, they get it. If not, oh well, see you next year, kiddo.
I don't think so. There's gotta be a better way. Educational reformer John Dewey said, If we teach today's students as we taught yesterday's, we rob them of tomorrow. It's paramount that today's educators demonstrate respect, collaboration, tolerance, understanding, equity, and awareness. This is going to require you to think outside of the box, knowing that there are different pathways to success. Here's some helpful tips. Use a variety of instructional strategies and learning activities. Offering variety provides the students with opportunities to learn in ways that are responsive to their own communication styles, cognitive styles, and aptitudes. Next, consider your students' cultures and language skills when developing learning objectives and instructional activities. Perhaps you can take a related field trip to a cultural museum or even host a global fest in your classroom. You should also incorporate objectives for affective and personal development. Provide opportunities for high, low, and middle achievers to boost their self-esteem, develop positive self-attributes, and enhance their strengths and talents. Most importantly, build rapport with your students. Understanding their lives will enable you to increase the relevance of lessons and make examples more meaningful. This also helps students know how much you care, and students don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. To summarize, teaching culturally diverse students means that you should appreciate and accommodate the similarities and differences among your students' cultures. Just like our students, we teachers also need to regularly reflect on our learning. So here are some reflective questions. What does valuing diversity look like in the classroom? Are you modeling respect and cross-cultural understanding? Do you provide opportunities for a variety of achievers? Are you customizing their pathways to success? Do you possess any cultural biases that may influence your teaching practices? Remember, we're often products of our environment. And lastly, how can you build rapport with your students? Think about your communication style. Use your personality, humor, charisma. Be likable. Maybe you could share a childhood story. Be courteous and be approachable. Thanks for watching and happy teaching.
Thank you, Dr. Sherry Valentine. Teachers, it's now time to look at some technology tools that might be used in your culturally diverse classroom. For this slide, I've chosen 3 tools to promote learning in an ELL classroom, starting with a website and app called Padlet. Padlet is a virtual bulletin board that can be used for students to collaborate on their ideas. I've used Padlet quite a bit in my classes over the past couple of years and found it to be a great tool for collaboration. It starts with a teacher creating a Padlet, which is simply creating a template chosen through Padlet's many templates, and then the form in which the post will be displayed. Teachers have control over the privacy settings so that the Padlet can be open only to the classroom, or can be open with a secret password, or can be made public to the internet. The second tool is called BossJock. Spencer, 2016, found that podcasting with students' mobile devices grew their confidence and allowed them to speak confidently. He recommends that classrooms with EL students should allocate time for students to talk to their oral language development. So BossJock is an Apple app that makes podcasting a snap. One review of BossJock compares it to creating live video with the ability to add music, audio clips, and sound effects. The built-in microphone in an iPhone, iPod Touch, or iPad is all that is needed to record voice. Once recorded, various file types can be generated for sharing through various apps and websites. With little hardware such as an external microphone and an intuitive touchscreen operation, BossJock can make podcasting easy in a connected classroom. The last application that will be discussed is a website called Writeabout. Writeabout is a free website that provides an online canvas for writing which starts as an idea. Research has shown that providing English language learners with an opportunity to write about their experiences will help them gain a deeper understanding of themselves. Blogging can support writing and writing development. Writeabout is a blogging platform that allows students to write about their ideas and provides an opportunity for their classmates to connect and comment or provide live feedback on their classmates' writing. I feel that you will find that these three applications and websites will help to engage your English language learners. So as we prepare to break into our groups, I would like you to discuss these two questions. How can you use technology in your classroom to reach the English language learners in your classroom? And how can we encourage English language learners to develop the academic English needed to be more successful in their world? Thank you for your time today. If you'd like to do more research, please look at these references.